Hi, friends. I'm back, Uday Ghare, for the behind the scenes podcast, and you can't miss this one. This is going to be an amazing session. Uh, there is going to be very interesting stories about how a young, dynamic engineer decided to move into and movie industry, follow his passion in movies, and how he has went ahead and built one of the best movies this year, and then so many other aspects of behind the scenes. So here with us today is MS Raja, the award winner for the best regional films by IWMBuzz. It's a great honor to have you here, MS Raja, and it's
Thank you
amazing,
so much.
and it's just fantastic, and I'm sure there'll be so many viewers today watching us and listen and learning from this conversation, and also enjoying those small interesting stories that come along the way that makes this whole job so interesting for you. So
Hey,
I want to just start with MS. Can I call you MS if that's okay?
yeah, that sounds so good. To be called, close to what it would say, sound similar to calling Dhoni. It
Yeah.
sounds really good to be
You
called
are
that
the
way.
MS Dhoni of regional films. So that's it.
Okay.
Uh, so yeah, so I want to start right from the beginning. How did this seed get sown right at the young age? Was it something that always intrigued you about movies and movie industry right from the childhood?
See, I was the first grandson at my home. Okay, so
Like
I had
me, same.
okay, so I didn't have a lot of other kids to play around with, and so I grew up for a long time. Long time. I mean, for the first year or so, only with my mom and my grandparents. So eventually, when I was two, 3, 4. I had to find some ways to keep myself entertained, and the best way that my grandfather could find was to take me to the theaters nearby. Initially the towns were all small; the theaters were somewhere next to our homes. So it just far 10 houses far away, we had a theater.
Yeah.
Okay, so I used to spend most of my times there watching films, all those Jackie Chan and Jet Li films that were releasing then, and it was
Wow.
fun. The darkness and the light on the screen, the magic that was played. I used to always think that there are people behind the screen. They're, suddenly they're enacting and they change dresses quickly. And I was very, very fascinated how they could just change like this. Hero and heroine meet, and then there's this sudden cut. Okay, they start dreaming. There's a sudden cut. They're transported into a new world. I was like, suddenly, how could they just transport from one place to another place? It was so fascinating for me, and I wanted to know more about being in that place. And I just wanted, the entire fact that they could transport like this. I wanted to do that. Then later, I realized it was just nothing but
Oh,
shooting.
amazing, amazing. No,
Uh,
it's quite similar to what I had the experience when I used to go to my grandpa in the village, and
okay.
the thing was he knew his friend was the movie theater owner, so
Oh,
that was a very special feeling. When I would go to the movie, I would be treated like a special guest. So because I'm
okay.
from a city to visit my grandpa, and that movie experience used to be very special for me, as if a pampered little kid given us
I,
front row to watch the movie, and it was like fantastic. And as you said, I remember crying first time when Amitabh Bachchan died in the movie, and I really felt, oh my God, what happened? And then someone told me, don't worry, he will be back in the next movie. So, but
okay.
yeah, MS,
Nice.
amazing, and I know that that's probably must have triggered the initial
My
desire.
liking started from there. I somehow wanted to be part of the movies, either in acting or direction. I somehow I was initially very fascinated by acting. I wanted to act in movies and be a part of the showbiz arena. Later, I also figured out that I can write stories. And few of my friends in college, I used to make them, the free time that we have. The lunch used to be somewhere around 1 hour, I think. We used to finish our lunch within 30 minutes. The rest of the 30 minutes, whatever I had, I used to tell a new story every day. Okay, some news story to
Nice.
my friends. They used to be like, "Oh, why are you doing engineering, dude? Just go." I thought my friends were like those kind of friends who were like, trying to spoil you. Okay, why you do? Why you're being in the wrong place? Don't do this. Just go. Then when I go, then the reality will, suck me in. That's what they're trying to do. I thought for a long time I didn't want to do this, but maybe a lot of people around me saw that I was I had the caliber to do this. It's just only me who realized it very good.
Amazing, amazing. And since you alluded about engineering, so how how was that journey from transitioning from an engineering to a movie industry? Like, was it like immediate, or you actually worked for some time as an engineer?
I worked for 8 years as an engineer. Okay,
Wow.
and I'm very grateful that I worked worked in a corporate company for 8 years because first thing it gave me financial freedom. I had money which I could support my family. I had money which I could enjoy myself. Okay, I had the money that could support my passion because nothing comes free today. I think we are moved more into a consumer model of society, consumerism model of the society. That nothing comes free today, and I had to. Except for knowledge, okay, abundance of knowledge. So I had to somehow learn the art of filmmaking and teach myself about filmmaking. So what I had to do was initially there was a small filmmaking club in my all those like-minded people who wanted to do films or do short films. They formed a club in our company and. On Saturdays and Sundays, they used to meet and they used to discuss about films that are globally popular and films that have been and the ways the filmmaking can be done. And my corporate experience, my engineering and my engineering, the job that my engineering gave me, put me at a place where I could mingle with like-minded people. They suggested me a few movies. They suggested me a few books. I started reading. I've never read in my life. To be very frank, I've never read in my life except for my college and school books. So it kind of put me in a place where I started reading new things and I started watching different kind of films apart from the regional films. And there is an art and there is also some science behind filmmaking. So I started learning about the science behind filmmaking and all this, and plus like how in a project work in an IT company, you have a process, you follow methods. Same way, those process and methods that I learned there helped me a lot when I became a filmmaker. Uh, if I had not been in an IT company, I wouldn't have been in a situation. I wouldn't be knowing how to use an Excel because Excel helped us a lot in managing our schedules. Even if the schedules immediately changed, we knew what to do with the help of Excel. We knew how to use other apps and other things all because of engineering. Financial freedom was one, and the second thing was the processes and the knowledge that engineering gave me. Engineering as a subject that I learned in college, and engineering, practical engineering that I saw being implemented, engineering principles and process being implemented in a lot of real-time environment in companies, those, and the kind of people that my workspace brought together made me today what I am. So
Amazing.
all credits goes to engineering.
So, which is very interesting, and I think all the engineers should get inspired by this. That 50% of your jobs are already done. You are ready. as a project manager. Now the 50% is about creative aspect. So if you build
Yes.
that, some of the engineers who are wishing to get into movie industry, you got, some skills already in place, even if you're not aware of it. But at the
Some of the
same time,
project managers can
increase the
become well.
sorry, go ahead. Yeah.
Some of the project managers can become very good project planners here. Okay, they can plan if they just work here for one year, understanding the reality of the ground reality of this industry. They can do very good project planning for the entire movie, and they can cut costs and they can make life easier for producers.
Absolutely. Fantastic.
Okay.
And at the same time, I do feel that there is a bit of a guidance to the creative guys as well, who kind of stay away from technology, but I think they should dabble a bit more. They should learn a bit of MS Office skills, and don't consider it to be very boring piece, because that probably will just help them to be a better movie makers, right? For the creative
See,
guys.
the point is, one thing I want to add. Uh, uh, a lot of people say when talking about engineering and talking about an IT job, I have heard a lot of people say that engineering is a very taxing course, and it doesn't let you do what you are. Doesn't let you be what you are, and be working in a corporate is like you're a scapegoat. You can be cut anytime, and you are following the herd of sheep. So all
Yeah.
these kind of things that I've heard. See, I personally feel, first thing, engineering or IT companies don't do that. I'm very grateful for the engineering that I've studied. I'm very grateful for the IT company that I've worked, because engineering gave me knowledge. The college gave me knowledge. College gave me the confidence to be in the real world. The company that I work for gave me the financial independence. Okay, so blaming that is not the solution. Okay, maybe that the place is not the problem. Maybe it's the person. They are the ones who are deciding to be, herd of sheep. They are the ones who are deciding to follow the herd. The place is not asking you to follow them, or the space is not. Maybe the place is trying to show some light also on the path where you can be a herd. But I personally feel it is you who have to take a stand of what you want, and where you want to be, where you see yourself. Whether you want to follow the herd or you want to break the herd, that is left to you. So
Amazing.
engineering, I feel, is a gift, and the boon of corporates that came and landed in the hands of India is also a gift, which we failed to celebrate, and we kept blaming for a long time till date. It's a
Amazing.
gift that we've got.
I want to touch upon the aspect before we get into the full-fledged movie behind the scenes. Is how did you, was it a very easy transition for you to move from a very stable job to movie making? Did you have to do a lot of hard sell at the family level, on yourself, on changing the way things were? You're in a regimented lifestyle, and now you are in a completely chaotic world, right? So, how was that transition?
The initial pressure was from the family side, definitely. They felt, see, I think for my parents, when they just said, first study and then we'll see. But my relatives, when they got to know that I really want to become a filmmaker, we had a roundtable brain cleansing session for me. They had a roundtable brain cleansing session with I think there were 15, 16 people there sitting, and
Oh,
because my uncle's house, it's a joint family. There are and all our relatives kind of stay close, and it's when we had been there for a vacation, my uncle, his wife, my sister, her husband, and my cousins, plus two other uncles and aunties. So many people. Okay, along with my mom and me on one side, they're trying to, my uncle's been with you. Down south, there's this great actor and legendary chief minister called MGR. in
Yes.
Tamil Nadu. Okay, so my uncle had the opportunity to work alongside MGR for a couple of months. Okay, it was a very small stint. So what he felt was, except for MGR, nobody could ever do that. MGR or Shivaji Ganeshan, nobody could ever crack a good livelihood in industry. And I have seen people suffer. He started giving me so many examples and so many other bad negative. But for me, somehow I was just seeing the positive side. For me, I thought I'll do good. I thought I'll do well. I thought I will somehow successful in this field. I had to I initially was trying to convince them. Then later I thought, how much ever I'm gonna tell them, they're not going to believe. It is going to be, I have to show that in my work. So I eventually stopped convincing them, and I started working towards getting myself better. One of my biggest what do you call, one of my biggest backbone was my mom. She always said, once she knew that I was very confident and I wanted to really be a filmmaker, she was like, Karle,
Yes.
initial days, to travel from Chennai to Bangalore, Bangalore to Chennai and Chennai to Bangalore, I was a little hesitant because it was costing me a lot and I had to save some money. But she said, if you don't spend on yourself today, it is an investment. Okay, if you don't
Yes.
do that, you're never going to grow. So
Yes.
she kind of stood as a backbone to me, and then came my wife, who again stood as another big backbone. So all these
Thank you.
things together put me in a very good place where uh, I kind of became what I am today. And on the uh, personal, this is on the personal, on the professional front, yes, it is going to take some time. It is going to take
Yeah.
some time. My initial after giving the full bound script of my film, the screenplay of my film, I had to wait. Uh, Cluelessly, I had to wait for
Yeah.
about December, 5 months, 4 months. Okay, cluelessly whether
Wow.
they're going to call, they're not going to call, and in that 4 months, 2 months I was working in different various projects as an actor, but the next 2 months was completely jobless. You have to sit idle 2 months waiting for something to happen. Fortunately, I had some family time and other things, but though you're having all this, somewhere deep down there, you'll start feeling that fear of being let out, or everybody's doing something in their life, and I don't want to be that wrong example of in my family, and all these things. Even there was a point where I thought, okay, okay, we'll find another job or go somewhere. Till that time, I'll to do part-time work. I was thinking to do that, and suddenly that day, this opportunity came, and I started doing it. So it is a turmoil of emotions, personally,
Yes.
professionally, inside you, out from external forces. You have a turmoil of emotions. You need to have the patience to wither it out, and also you need to have the resilience, persistence
Yes.
to keep going, to keep going. Only then I think this industry is going to treat you well,
Yeah.
or maybe
No,
this art form is
absolutely.
going to treat you well.
Patience, resilience, and I think the belief in yourself that it will happen. Eventually, it will happen.
Exactly, exactly.
So, yeah, amazing. And I think when you get into when you decided to move into movie industry, how did you go about? What is like this could be very useful for people who are thinking of getting into similar lines.
Okay.
Where do they go? How do they? Okay, I want to be
See,
I'm a
I
passionate movie guy, right? But how do I approach this industry?
I will tell what happened with me. So there are like the solutions for this are n to the power of infinity. Okay, so we have infinite solutions. So I'll just tell what happened with me. I applied. I started, see, every day. I used to sit and uh, once I've decided that I have to move here, on one side I'm upskilling myself to become a filmmaker. So on the other side, I'm trying to contact a lot of people. Okay, I try to Google search a lot of contacts. Okay. Uh, like nowadays, there are YouTube channels, and every production house has their own YouTube channel. So I try to Google search a lot of contacts, try to see if, say, for example, Maniratnam sir has a production house called Madras Talkies. Okay, so I know that Maniratnam sir has a production house called Madras Talkies. I Googled it, and through one link, through another link, and through a friend of mine working in the industry, somehow I got an email ID of Madras Talkies.
Wow.
So every day, daily morning, when I get up and I've done my morning activities, 10 o'clock is my 11 o'clock is my work starting time. So 10 to 11, I used to sit, have all those mail IDs, send one mail every day to every day to these including Madras Talkies and so many other even including YouTube channels. I wanted to just find a job somewhere, okay, to have a smoother transition, to
Yeah.
have a smoother transition. So in the industry, because cluelessly sitting and coming to Chennai, sitting here waiting for something to happen will not help, because I'll come here, sit. I will not know whom to connect, where to go. If I have a job in the industry, if I'm working in the industry, somewhere, some work that I'm doing in the industry, then I will eventually meet people who will meet people who will know people.
Yeah.
So that was the entire plan. So
That's a
I
very nice. Yeah.
landed a job with one of the famous YouTube channels in Chennai, and that job I worked there for like a year or so, and in that year I made a lot of contact. Those contacts helped me get some more contacts and put me in a space where I'm today. So
If I may ask, what was that job?
I worked as an anchor for a YouTube channel.
Oh, nice.
I
Okay.
worked as an anchor.
Okay.
So initially, I applied as an editor. Okay, I was upskilling myself in editing also. But fortunately, I was very fortunate enough. If I was an editor, I would have been sitting inside the office and editing. But since fortunately, I got they themselves asked me if I can be an anchor, and gave me an opportunity to be an anchor, and that was the place where where the flowers started blooming, I felt.
Wow.
So they gave me the opportunity, and I every day be uh, you know an interview that I have to go out and anchor somebody. It is a celebrity that I have to meet, so I know how the industry works, how celebrities work, or who you have to contact the celebrity. So things like that. So it really helped me. That job really helped me. I feel like I'm always grateful to the company that gave me that job because
Wow.
it was the
Amazing.
starting point of my career.
Fantastic. And how did Sevappi happen? And for the audience, Sevappi is the movie that MS Raja made, and he wrote and he directed. And this is the movie that has got the best regional movie award by the IWMBuzz. So amazing! Once again, congratulations to you,
Thank you.
MS
Thank
Raja. And let's hear out the story. How did Sevappi happen?
This idea, see, usually my films, I grew up watching all this Jet Li and Jackie Chan. So the conflicts kind of in my films are big. It's like usually a bigger conflict, or it's a sci-fi film, something like that. So these kind of films are really require a huge budget for you to make, and that you're not going to get it. You're not going to be that lucky to land that kind of a budget in a very first film. So you want to write something small. That's when I have one of my friend who's also trying to be a director in the Telugu cinema industry. His name is Venkatesh. So he kind of inspired me because he takes a very small subject, okay, and builds a screenplay out of it. It's just very small conflict if you see it from outside world, but he kind of builds a very beautiful screenplay out of it. And that kind of was the starting point where I thought the conflict has to be very small. I challenge myself, if you can do a film like this, trust me, MS, you are one of the finest filmmakers that the industry is going to ever see, is what I told myself. And this is like in 2015. 2015, I told myself that if ever I'm going to write something very small and still make it a film, I land myself as a very successful director in the industry is what I said myself. And then in 2017, I think 17, 18, somewhere there, not 17. I think it was in 2019. I think 2019 when I was talking, me and my friend there in the company where I used to work, we used to usually have discussions in the over the evening time about the films that we watched and the kind of films that I would like to do, or the kind of films that he would like to do. So when we were talking that, suddenly we were talking something, and out of sudden, like in the Canadian American border of the Niagara Falls, how Tesla just wrote that AC/DC wave out of somewhere.
Wow.
It just came, struck him. That way, it just struck me that, okay, suddenly it struck me. A boy kisses an animal. A boy kisses an animal. The animal becomes pregnant.
Oh,
Okay. Or
wow.
he thinks that he's impregnated that animal by kissing it, and that is his kid. Now, now what would happen? What would be, the rest of the events is all designed out of stories that my mom told, and I've heard from her village, from her maternal village. She's told a lot of stories that have ever happened to her.
Yeah,
So those kind of linking all those stories, I started writing a screenplay.
yeah.
So that's how it all happened. That is the place where it started, Selfie. It was very fascinating
Amazing.
for me. Suddenly, it just came. It was not something which I sat in a conference room where I locked
Yeah.
myself up and I within the next 6 days I have to find a new idea. No, it was not like that. It just came.
Wow. Amazing. Such an interesting concept and such an interesting way that it came up. And I think then the next step was all about developing that idea further, and that's where
See, next
you
step
started
was
doing
I
okay.
immediately wrote it in my one of my notepads and I kept it.
Yeah,
Then after quitting the job, coming here working as an anchor.
yeah,
Eventually, being an anchor, I had to still search opportunities to become what I have come here to become, and that's
right.
when I got an opportunity to pitch. He pitch, and that person asked if I have something small. I said this is something which I've always written, and I always wanted to make it very small film. Okay,
Oh,
and I
wow.
gave it to them. Eventually, it happened to be a good film.
Amazing. And I think the next step would have been to find a financer or a producer, right, for the movie.
So
How did that
fortunately,
work?
the person whom I met was a creative producer who was working at AHA OTT. Okay, my
Oh,
film is released in AHA OTT. So they were actually on, their business model that time was to make original films rather than buying films. They wanted to make originals like AHA originals, like how it's Netflix originals, Amazon originals. They wanted to make AHA originals, and they were the people who they were ready to fund, okay, if they had a good story. So this creative producer helped me pitch it to AHA, and they were kind of okay with the story. They liked the story. They asked me to get back with the screenplay, and within 24 days, I sat and wrote a screenplay and
wow.
gave it to them. And they had corrections and their suggestions. We definitely incorporated all the not all, maybe few that we discussed, and
Yeah,
most of it we incorporated because most of it was sensible. And uh, we went hand in hand. We and AHA went hand in hand, and we created something. So
wow.
finding a producer was I found a person who had the producer. So funding
Nice.
came there.
And then it must be the next step would be the casting, right? How
Yes.
did you find how did you go about finding the right, you
See,
know,
we had auditions. We had auditions set up for all the characters, and
yeah,
like the main character Rishikant, as in who plays Karna in the film.
yeah,
So he was suggested by our creative producer because he had seen his acting before, and he felt that person would definitely fit this role. And I
Yeah.
also felt the same. The moment I first saw his character, the photos, I felt okay, he'll fit. And then the kids we auditioned, the two lovely kids, we auditioned them. We went to the place where we shot was in Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. Okay,
Yeah.
we set up an audition there, and we kind of selected, handpicked these kids from almost 300, 400 kids who had come that day, and
Wow.
uh, and a female actress. It was quite a tricky thing to select. She had to be strong. She had to be very, what do you call? She had to be very firm looking. Though she's
Yeah.
a very soft and mellow mother, she still
Yeah.
has to be firm in
Yeah.
some situations. So how do you make that happen? You have to find that right place. So we had a little bit of give and take between us and the OTT platform in selecting her, and then finally we selected. So majorly it was auditions, and through word of mouth we kind of casted.
Do you think that's the real feeling when you actually start looking at the auditions? You start really unraveling the characters into a human form. You have written them on the script. How is that feeling? It would be really great to understand a bit more about that.
See, definitely yes, because you have always seen those characters in your head. You've never
Yeah.
seen them in real. You've never seen them in real. And suddenly, what happens is there's some person standing in front of you in whole form of blood, bones, and muscles. Okay, and he is enacting what you've ever imagined. So when that happens, either it fits your zone or it looks very weird. The
Yeah.
moment it looks weird, okay, you don't take him. When it
Yeah.
somewhere fits, you keep him in the waiting list. When that person gives you exactly what you want, okay, fortunately, if that person has understood or maybe it is his way of being,
Yeah.
and that kind of impresses you, or that kind of is the image that you have built in your mind. That is where we select those actors, and that kind of gives you, for example, one of the actors, the negative antagonist in the film, was supposed to be like 45, 50 years old. Okay, but in real, we actually casted a person who was just 30, who could look 35-year old. The
Yeah.
reason was one of the person who came to audition, that person really did a fabulous job, and he really brought out the character right in front of my eyes. The way he did
Wow.
that, okay, he really brought out the character right in front of my eyes. So I knew that I am going to cast this person as the antagonist, but the character that we've written is 45 to 50. So what we thought, we will change the character to 35. We will make few fine changes we had to make, and we changed few characters to make that fit
Fits.
the 30 to
Yeah.
35 range. Okay.
Wow.
So sometimes actors kind of impress you, and then it's a good thing. I
Yeah.
really felt happy that to have found him. It was a good find for me.
Wow. Now I'm going to ask a very it's kind of a touchy question here because it's coming in my mind now spontaneously. Is that you were the writer and then you were the one who was doing the audition, and then you exactly knew what you wrote and how you had envisaged, and then it was really playing out right in front of you with all these auditions. Compared to that, there are production houses who take scripts, buy or license script, and then they build the movie. There the essence of the writer is kind of transferred to someone else in the production house. That must be pretty tricky, right? Because the one who has taken the script, how do you imbibe that, right? It's not going to be the same feeling. I know
Okay.
it's a bit of a touchy thing, but
Uh,
yeah.
No, it is.
Ah,
See, like everything has two sides. Even this has two sides. Okay. First thing, talking about the emotional part, if that person only wants to be a writer, see, he likes writing, and just wants to be a writer. I've met a lot of people who just want to be writers. They don't want to direct. They don't want to go to the set, shout at people. They don't want to, even sit to actors and very nicely, even though the emotional turmoil is going up and down, and you have to control everything, sit there and kind of explain it to the actors in a very normal way so that they can give you what you want. Okay, controlling everything, controlling your inner emotions. Some people don't really want to do that. They want to put out their emotions via pen and a paper or a keyboard, the keys and the screen. Maybe they want to do that, and for those people who really want to do that, it is not a problem. On the people who otherwise they want to be a directors, but their script has been purchased by the production houses. He's still getting some monetary benefit, but his dream of becoming a director someday will get fulfilled, but maybe not with this. Again, he would have registered it somewhere. It is his decision to even sell the script right there. Maybe for X number of factors that he's selling the script. But a little longer he could have waited. He could have or could not have done the film. That's
Oh,
there. But it's still his own personal choice. On the other side, making it into a film. See, the writer has written it with a very personal kind of what do you call perspective. And then the director comes in, adds another perspective. Director and his team comes and adds another perspective. If it's a different person, they kind of add another perspective, making it, you know, we all of us don't really think in the same way. If I'm imagining a pen, I'm imagining a pen in a bright red color, which is really bunched at the center, and it's a Mont Blanc pen, okay, with a fine nib and fountain ink, which just flows like grease out of the pen. And if I ask you what pen did you imagine, you would have you know
completely
had a
different.
completely different pen. Okay, the same way it is. Okay, so you would have imagined something, and I would have added on something to it. I would have read it and I would have added on something to it as a director. Then it would take a very beautiful shape. Like if you have imagined a red pen, okay, and it's a Mont Blanc pen, and the ink is running out of it like a grease, and you have described everything there. Then I give some characteristics to the pen. Okay, maybe it's a historic pen that the pen was used by the Soviet Union and USSR,
Yeah.
and then the pen had a little bit of a backstory. And now this pen, if the pen is really playing what do you call it, the main character of the film, then I have to add emphasis for the pen. So what is that we can do? How we can imagine it? Okay, what are the shots that we can plan? Then I really have to show the kind of shots. If you've really emphasized on the pen, then I have to show the gloss of the nib. Okay, the gloss of the pen hook and the Mont Blanc symbol on it. The way the ink flows, all with I designed the shots, and I give it back to you, then you're like, you're convinced. So it's a give and take. Sometimes, usually, the writer is in a zone and the director is totally in a different zone. It usually doesn't go well. In those kind of times, it rarely happens because they both sit together and the director usually takes tips that really works for him, or else the film is going to be. Or the production houses really select people who can really do the job, at least in the Hollywood. Not sure of how it runs here. Okay, I'm
My
yet
God,
to
the way
explore
you
all those.
described the pen, and you really created a movie right in front. That is amazing. I can completely understand from where this whole thing is coming, right from the here, the amazing.
Yeah.
So, coming back to Sevappi, you were saying
Mm.
earlier that Sevappi means red in Tamil,
Yes.
and why red, or why not some other color? How did you come about Sevappi as a name?
See, red has always been a significance of courage and courage and being straightforward. Okay, red has always been a significant color that way. Even for example, talking about the USSR and other things. So red has played a very vital role in creating an image that way. And this place where the kid is very straightforward. The kid This innocence is very straightforward. He is very straightforward, but for us it feels innocent. He's very straightforward. Okay, he's kissed the hen, and it's laid egg, and he doesn't want to. Initially, he wants to run away. He wants to somehow destroy it, but later he accepts it. He's very straightforwardly accepts it, and he tells his mom straightforwardly that it is my kid.
Yeah.
He has no other deviations in that. And the same way, courage. His uncle who was a timid, his mother who was a timid. Eventually, at the end, when the situation strikes, uh, they had to flex their muscles. They had to show up. They had to put on their boxing gloves, and they had to come fight. As in personification of putting on a boxing glove. They had to come on the ground and they had to fight. His mom had to jump on a 90, 80, 90 per kg fellow, and then he had to bring him down to save her kid. All of this is happening. It's because of the courage that is being pulled out of there. So, Red has always played a vital role in instigating our emotions. For the right,
Amazing.
for the wrong, I don't know. It depends on the person. But instigating our emotions, red has always been the color. So I felt red is the thing. Sevappi. Sevappi.
Amazing. How did you go about selecting the location for Sevappi?
So initially, I decided to shoot it in a place called Dindikal. That happens to be my mom's maternal place. Okay, it's a small village there. I wanted to shoot there only because it was based on the stories that my mom kind of told. Okay, so I wanted to shoot right there, but somehow due to some production issues, we couldn't get that place. Okay, and we went to Coimbatore, where the producers were a little more comfortable, and we went on a recce for almost 9 days. We planned a recce for 10 days. I think. We went on a recce for almost not 9 days. I think it is 7 day recce. We went on recce for almost 6 days.
Yeah.
And till 6 days, we didn't find anything. Every day morning, we go out, okay, search for places till night. We come back, we don't find anything. Go, search, come back, go, search. Then on the seventh day, we went to a place and that didn't work out. And the production manager was like, "Sir, okay, I will have to find more places. I'll find and I'll call you. Maybe you can take a train today back to your home. Then we'll call you back." And then, okay, we said okay with a little hesitant. We were a little hesitant. I mean, I was a little hesitant that time, but I still said yes. And then we were moving. Then, while on the way, he said, "There's another place here. You might not like it." I said, "Let's go check it out. Me liking or not liking is a different story. Let's check it out." And but it was almost getting dark. Like it was almost 5:30, and it was what I'm thinking it was. April. So we had still time, like 2 hours of time. I said, "Go." Said 5:36 it was. So when the moment I went, I really liked the place.
Wow.
Okay. It was on last moment. I really liked the place. I was like, "Okay, this is nice. You could have showed me it the first day. I thought you'll not like this place." I was like, then the very next location, which was nearby, we saw. I also liked the place again. So first two locations we kind of got it, and then we finalized. So after this, whatever we have to search was on the go. We had to search. So that will suit the palette of this place. So initial places what we wanted, we kind of got very accidentally and selected it. It was a very last minute thing that we got, and it really works well.
Wow. And then comes the phase of project planning, right? Like you have the
Yes.
talent, you have the location, you have, how about,
The project planning happens side by side always. Okay.
okay,
So uh, project planning is I mean you're dividing the shots, how many shots you can do a day, what how many scenes you can do a day, what and all you can do in the scene, dividing. And once you have a location, you know the practical difficulties that the location would pose. If it is Coimbatore and we're planning to shoot in August, there are high chances that Coimbatore falls on the west coast of no, not on the coast. Okay, somewhere closer to the Western Ghats of
yeah,
down south. So Western Ghats are usually prone to the rainfalls in August and September. So June, July, August. Okay, if the season's really good, the rainfall might extend till September. So
Yeah.
we kind of predicted rainfall, and we had to somehow go for the shoot. When these kind of things come into play, outdoor shoot, August 8th, we started shooting. And from there, 27 days straight, we went on shooting. How much ever you planned, how much ever you do the planning,
Yes.
there are some last minute changes. So the first 3 days, it kind of poured. So we couldn't go out and shoot.
Yeah.
And the set was also not ready because first 3 days we planned to do exteriors and then we wanted to move inside. So interiors also we cannot shoot because we don't have. Okay, exteriors we cannot shoot. So first 3 days we kind of we have cameras ready, actors are ready, we're all ready. We just wait for the rain to stop, and when the rain stops, we go. The montages of the song, whatever. That kind of helped the team also get a little closer. The actors also get a little closer. The montages of the song we used to shoot. And first day I think it was only 4 shots. 4 shots, 4 times the camera just spun. So it was very disappointing for me on the very first day, but I was very happy. I thought we've done something. We will have. Yeah, I think on the first day we shot a scene also because 6 o'clock we had to wrap the shoot. Somewhere at 5:30 it stopped raining, and immediately with the two kids, there's a scene where the two kids are sitting to coop next to each other, and it's a very funny scene. And then they're discussing something. They kind of got that scene that day. Okay, and it was very fun and it was very satisfying to watch those two kids who've never acted before. Just like that, give within a couple of takes, they could give me something what I expected. It was very. It was fun to watch those kids act. So yeah, production planning happens side by side.
Yes.
Once you see the locations and all and come, you add a little bit of practicality. It is like uh, if you've seen Powerpuff Girls, you relate to what I say. Production planning, sitting in a room is adding spices and everything nice. Okay, and the practicality is the recce will give you the practicality. That is the chemical X that falls into your portion and makes it puff girls. And then once you have the puff girls ready, you will have the practical world to paste and then paste it and finish it off. That's all.
Wow. And I think one of the most toughest things in filmmaking, in my view, is handling an animal or a bird. In this case, this
Uh,
was a hen, or initially it was a chick, right? And then it moved to a hen. So, how did you go about doing that? That must be will be some interesting stories around that, I guess.
there are so many aspects to that. One thing is the kid was a little afraid of the chicken, holding the chicken. The main character, he was initially afraid of holding the chicken. We had to train him to hold the chicken. Though he's grown up in small towns and villages, also he had that fear of holding the chicken. So we had to train him to. I mean, we knew that he has a fear on the day of shoot. So there was no training, or it was on the go. It was what do you call that? There's a fantastic word in corporate
Spontaneous?
on the go
Yeah.
training, on the go, on the
Yeah.
job
On the job.
training,
On the job
on
training.
the job, on the job. We had to make him act. Along with it, we had to hold. So initially, you never used to lift the chicken. So we had to give it to him. He'll hold it. So the feathery part will not disturb him. Only when the nails hurt him, he'll be like he'll throw it and run away. So
Wow.
initially, we had to give it to him. So plus the chicken. See, we find a lot of dog trainers who can train dogs to act. But chicken, it is very tough. We were lucky to find a person who knows. He was sure, he said, chickens are not something that will listen to you like dogs. Okay, but you can lure them. Okay, you want the chicken to walk from there to here, you need to show that whatever it wants that is there. So if you show that, you just have to show. You cannot direct the chicken. You leave it and it'll walk.
Yeah.
So those kind of things
Uh,
that person kind of taught us, and If you see in that place where the chicken comes back home, we almost took 4 shots, I think, and the fifth shot, the chicken he had he made it look like the chicken came. I just wanted the chicken to come stand there. That's all. We were already fed up 4, 5 shots, and it was almost 2 o'clock in the night. We were shooting 4, 5 shots. We've been taking, and I think it is extending also. And the chicken never came. It used to come, it used to run away, it used to come, and it used to go this side. I wanted it to come and stand there. And we don't have the option of putting that rice or any food also there, wherein the chicken will come and start eating that. We don't have that option
Yeah.
to. Okay, because I don't want it to come start eating. I want it to come look at the house or come just stand there. I didn't even want to look at the house, and finally I was just okay. Just if it comes and just stands there, it's enough. But fortunately, to our luck, what happened is on the final take, it just came, stood, and took a peep at the house. I was like,
Wow.
okay, this is the shot, done. And a few things happen when nature always,
Yeah.
you know, supports the brave
Supports you.
and the
Yeah.
intelligent, is what they say. Okay, so.
Oh,
Luckily, we were brave enough to spend more time that day on the same shot again and again. Maybe we got that. I don't know.
wow. That's where you earlier mentioned the persistence, the perseverance. Yeah.
There are times that where things have worked, and there are times where things have not worked. So we
Yeah.
have to learn to adapt. See, I might be telling all the things that worked here, so it might be looking like a cakewalk.
At all. I'm sure
So if I start talking about all the things that didn't work, it would have been it's a real nightmare. The last climax location, okay, kind of we came under the forest. As in we had initially saw fixed a location. It came under the forest control. Forest. So the forest officer was not giving us permission because there were like hyenas present there. As in, it is a usual place where hyenas take a walk in the night at least. So he didn't give us permission because the shoot was at night. So we tried at the last, we didn't get permission. And on just 2 days before the shoot, we don't have the permission. And that day we had to shoot only half day. And the rest half of the day, I am with the production manager searching for another location. We had to travel 70 kilometers on that day to
my
go
God.
find a location. And we really did find a location. And within a day, we found the location. The next day, we are going to that location to shoot. So many other things. There's so many things that didn't work, and we kind of made it work. That's all.
Wow. So these things also happen. Yeah.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
are
yeah.
the
There's a lot
ones.
of things that didn't work. Didn't go our way. A lot
Yeah.
of things.
And I would love to understand what were those specific scenes in Sevappi that you believe were challenging at the same time when you did it, you really felt, wow, that was just perfect. I know the whole movie was perfect for you, but there will be some instances and
No,
some
there
scenes.
are definitely scenes. Okay, so uh, mm, okay, so there's a scene where the chicken is born. Okay, so we initially planned it to crack out of we planned to kind of shoot a egg actually hatch and come out.
Yeah,
Okay, the chicken actually hatch out of egg, and we wanted to place a camera, timeless camera. We wanted to wait on an egg that will really hatch, but production didn't. We didn't have that time and space to do that. So what we thought is uh, the chicken's already born and it's come out of the shell. The mom kind of calls her son. He comes running to watch it. And this moment, if we have to create it beautifully. If we create this beautifully, maybe we need not show the egg hatching, and this will kind of be enough and more to validate emotions. And that decision of not going to shoot the egg hatching was difficult. We thought,
yeah.
okay, finally, we were like, okay, let's chuck it and we'll fix it in editing. And we went on, and that kind of came very good.
Amazing, amazing. And my very, very interesting, particularly, I'm sure this must be a moment for you. I really want to understand your emotions on the day the movie got launched on AHA. You know, was it a
See,
OTT release or was it a theatrical release or how did it go about?
okay, it was a OTT release. It was not a theatrical. It was an OTT release. So I think I only had time to enjoy my emotions on the day I was said that okay, Raja, start writing. Okay, we will start writing and give me a full blown screenplay. We'll pitch this definitely. And I started writing with a hope. And the day I gave the screenplay, I was very confident that it will happen. And I was very happy that day.
Yeah,
Okay. In between cut time, I told you it was very, taxing for me. And on the day that I got a call that, okay, Raja, we'll go ahead, we'll do this film. And why don't you come down to our office? We'll have a meeting. I was happy
yeah,
that day. After that day, I didn't have time to count on my emotions. It was all it was all working towards finishing the project. Even on the date of release, we didn't have time to. We were giving back-to-back interviews to a lot of YouTube channels and working on the promotions and working on last-minute changes.
what's your next project now? What are we going to look at
I'm
next?
writing my next project. It's a sleek action thriller. I'm going to transition from this to that.
Nice.
So I'm
Wonderful.
writing it. Hopefully,
We hope to see
in,
now an action thriller coming from you very soon. Hopefully. Yeah.
yeah. Hopefully, we connect again on the that film too.
I would like you to share your final thoughts for our audience, about filmmaking, about whatever you want to share with youngsters or people who are looking to get into movie making. Your thoughts about how that anything that really would help the audience.
Okay, this is personally what is helped me. I'm not a person. I'm not that experienced to give advice or takeaways. Okay, but still, I would share experiences from my life. First thing that I did was Monday to Friday, I knew I had an office job. The Saturdays and Sundays, I cut down going around with friends, and then I started investing it on myself, investing on learning new things, or investing on just taking the camera out and trying to shoot some random thing,
Yeah,
trying to see if it really works, trying to see if I really know how to use a camera, and all those things. So I started investing in myself first. Okay, I started believing in me. I started investing in me. Just believing doesn't make it happen. You have to start investing in yourself. You have to take that time out, which other people are, enjoying and letting it go. Maybe you should invest that on yourself to grow.
yeah,
Maybe that's the only way you will grow. Knowledge is everywhere. See, again, we cannot blame that being in today's world. Maybe 30 years back, my father could have blamed that I don't know where to learn filmmaking, I don't know how to learn filmmaking, or I don't know how to learn Java, or I don't know how to learn whatever it is. But today, I cannot blame that. I cannot do that. Knowledge is abundant, and free of cost.
yeah,
Free of course. YouTube, you go sit on YouTube. Okay, you have a n number of courses, and you have n number of certified people who are giving good courses. Okay,
yeah,
and there are other options who are giving master classes for free of cost.
yeah,
And Facebook, you connect on Facebook. There's so many clubs that are present in Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, wherein acting classes, filmmaking classes. It's a club wherein they give and take each other. They impart knowledge. Okay, they teach you acting maybe, and they want you to teach them editing maybe. Okay, it's a given. There's so many clubs like this. Find them and invest your time there. Go to those places, invest your time there, learn knowledge from there. And the last one is unless and until you are prepared to lose everything, don't step into any creative field.
yeah.
unless and until you're ready to prepare. I was ready to prepare. I was ready to starve myself to death at the cost of being a filmmaker. Even
Wow.
I told my mom, I'm not, if I don't become anything, okay, I'll at least starve myself to death sitting in a movie theater. But I will,
That
I will
that's the
not, I'll not be anything else. Okay.
wow.
So unless and until you have that thing, and just not starving to death, and also the zeal to learn
Yeah.
and create something, and the confidence in yourself that you will do something. Never get into any of the creative field unless and until you have it. Once you have this, definitely you get into it. It's not going to be a easy job. While I was in an IT company, I used to spend well. Then when I got out of the company, I had to cut down on my spending. I had to live only on my needs, basic needs. Okay. The soap that I was using then might have been a little costlier. The soap that I'm using now is a little different. So all of these lifestyle changes that you have to bring in to sustain on minimal uh, on your savings and still continue to keep your passion until the day that your passion kind of pays you back a good number. So,
Wow. So thank you so much, MS Raja. Fantastic session. We thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm sure our audiences would also. And there were so many beautiful nuggets of learnings there, pearls of wisdom. And also, one final thing that you mentioned is really the thing, right? That what is your conviction? What is your preparedness to really sacrifice, to have that perseverance, have that resilience, follow the passion. Happiness is not all about wealth and only that. It's also about the conviction, the passion you are really following, and that's what came across so clearly. So thank you so much, and wishing you lots and lots more success. And we are your big fans, looking forward
thank you
and
so
waiting
much.
for the next project. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Uday. It was really great talking to you. Thank you, and looking forward for a lot more conversation.